अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। तमाम सुनने वालों को मेरी तरफ से और आमर की तरफ से सलाम। एंड आज हमारा जो प्रोग्राम है अंग्रेज़ी में होगा, इंग्लिश में होगा। करंट अफेयर्स प्रोग्राम जो हम आपके लिए लाते हैं। तो आज का जो प्रोग्राम है इसकी टॉपिक्स मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। आई विल टेल यू द टॉपिक्स। टुडे वी विल टॉक अबाउट the UK Prime Minister Starmer, who said he's going to recognize the Palestinian state before the United Nations General Assembly. Also, we're going to be discussing about the infighting that is taking place at the top leadership of the Your Party, which is a new party that is being formed by Jeremy Corbyn and Sultana. So that we'll talk about that. And then also we've got issue about flag worship in the UK. So without further ado, we'll go straight into it. I'm joined now by my brother and co-host Amar Hussain. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you for having me on again. Really appreciate it. And I think what we try to do is let people know, educate people what's going on, and we want to be in the forefront. We don't want to be behind the scenes or behind in anything. As Muslims in the United Kingdom, we're a minority, so that's why we're here to talk about topical issues like the one hopefully we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about what Muslims are doing in the UK, especially spread by the far right, who are claiming that we are trying to take over the country, which is not true.
Yeah, I think the far right portrayed an image where the Muslims are like 50% of the country. No, we're a minority of 4 or 5%. We don't make up a majority. There's 85% white British people. So we're a minority. If you compare it to in Pakistan, there's a Christian minority. There's about 3 to 4 million Christians as well that actually live in Pakistan. There's churches. Just comparatively, we're just saying, in other countries, there are minorities. If we say the Christians are going to take over, there are some extreme groups actually do go against minorities in Pakistan. That is wrong. But in this situation, we're similar to what's happening all around the world. But I think Europe in particular and the US, they have taken a turn for the worse where there is extreme ideologies at play and people are becoming more and more extreme right wing.
So, I think as a reaction to do you think your party is trying to unite people that are more on the left side of politics, and they started off fairly well. I think they got so many members or people that 800, was it 850,000 or something like that?
Yeah, I think they surpassed many other parties, even the Reform Party, with the membership. So they were doing really well. Things were looking very good, and we were hoping that there would be a party like this that would represent the people on the left. Obviously, they represent other stuff as well. Just not, it doesn't have to be about the minority Muslim community, but they represent LGBT and other communities as well. So we have to factor that in as well. But in terms of what they were asking for, demanding for, I think obviously that gives you a bit more of a scope to have a different. So the left, obviously, we know Keir Starmer's moving towards the right. He's got a Tony Blair kind of extreme ideology, and he's being backed by his Zionist He even says his family members are Zionists or Jewish, should we say. So what do you call, in that respect, I think there was a high time that we had some kind of organization, especially we've been now is about 2 years since the genocide that is taking place in Palestine. So people needed something else. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. But well, I think the main reason why we're talking about your party is the infighting that was taking place at the top leadership. So it's not at the lower levels. It's right at the top where what do you call Jeremy Corbyn, Zara Sultana have had a spat, and there's been accusations flying around. I'm just hoping that they can actually resolve the issues rather than uh, m- making matters worse, shall we say. If they can resolve it, nip in the bud, that'll be probably better for the left, shall we say.
Yeah, so I think a lot of Muslims are obviously joining this party as well. Um, let's just get into the what happened. What happened with this infighting that took place on the leadership level. So there's many people trying to jump on the bandwagon and trying to try to take because the elections are taking place next year, so they want tickets and they want to make sure that the Reform Party doesn't get into power. But it looks like the independents are supporting them. They want independents are joining.
I know Bradford Independents are with, for example, Bradford Independents are with your party. They've met Jeremy Corbyn, Zara Sultana. But going forward, anything could happen. Going forward, things may take a turn. So at the moment, what's happening now is currently a positive for the extreme right, positive for the Reform Party, positive for people like Tommy Robinson and others, because the left at the moment is in chaos, and the majority of the leadership level, was Zara Sultana's blamed is Jeremy Corbyn and the other Muslim MPs. I think one is called Ayub, the other one I've forgotten the name, but there's several other independent MPs who she's kind of said they're sexist, and but I think it's to do with an email and with membership as well. So I think that's something that they can resolve. But sometimes when you say things in public, that's those things you can't
I
resolve.
think they don't have a proper structure in place at the
Yeah.
moment. So it's things are happening because they're loosely tied. So this is obviously something that the problem in that structure that they need to resolve.
And I've been just on touching on that, and I've been with a couple of different organizations where they have people who, like for example, who haven't had an experience of creating groups,
Yeah.
and they have that infighting where when you have a leader, you have to kind of respect their decision and take the decision of final. But sometimes what happens, you have like a committee which makes massive issues, and I think that's what happened when there's others involved. That's why you ideally need one leader. Once you have a core leadership, those core leaders need to be principled. These are things we can't do, and these are things we can do. They've had a public spat, which they shouldn't have. So it doesn't make well reading for the left. So things have to change, and I think there's other people who are pushing. They're saying, give us a chance. We'll formulate. But I think we need somebody like Jeremy Corbyn on top.
Yeah.
And if you can get George Galloway and Zara Sultana and others, that would be even better. But a person with a track record like Jeremy Corbyn, who highly respected, shouldn't really have to feel that he's been kind of positioned this way. It's sad to see, really.
Yeah, my own personal opinion is that obviously the elections are coming up next year. I think they're coming up, aren't they? So obviously there's a lot of people that want to get into leadership position, or they want to win the elections, become MPs and councillors. So there is everybody wants a ticket.
Yeah, so it's a council election. So just to be
Yeah.
clear, yeah. So it's going to be the council elections, but that could be a test for Keir Starmer because he's going to be losing a lot of councillors. Everybody's predicting that. I think they themselves are predicting it. So they're going to be losing a lot of councillors, and that could have a test on his leadership. There could be, a lot of people could come out against his leadership. So it's quite serious for that. And I think now it's probably good that we talk about what you originally mentioned. The first item of debate today was the declaration by the United Kingdom government to announce that they would recognize Palestine, which they should have done many years ago.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying it's symbolic or it's just the politics, but he's already recognized it. I've seen the video where he's recognized it verbally, professionally, in front of the public. At the UN, there will be recognition as well, where somebody later on today, if it hasn't already happened, will go to the United Nations and make that same proclamation.
Yeah, I think we'll go for a short break and then we'll be back to discuss that topic in much more detail.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll go for a short break and we'll be back with you very soon.